Whoops. Welcome everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the audio playing right now. Welcome. I am Mr. Pacina, owner of Pacina Streams, and it's coming off a little bit like if I just put my hand right here, you're not able to tell it. But let me try to adjust some things in the back, because again, things are always changing. We need to adapt. We need to grow. As you might have clicked on this video because you like what it said, you know what a Humble Bundle is, and even if you don't, I'm gonna help you with that. The topic of today is AI powered photo editing, and in case you don't know any of those words, I will break those down as well. You might be wondering, what qualifications does this guy have to teach you about this? I am a professional. Well, as I'm speaking, let me test my audio right now. Interesting. I am hearing repeating right now. I'm wondering why that is. Okay, I think the repeating went away. I'm not sure why. Like, I'm not seeing anything across the board that could tell me why this would be happening. Let me check my other channels. Oh, yep. I think I know. It's my it's because I'm multi-streaming this to YouTube, to Facebook, to Twitch at the same time. So I'm listening to all of them at the same time. That's why it sounds weird. That's why it sounds weird. Okay, it doesn't sound weird to you because you're not watching all three streams at the same time, but it sounds weird to me. Anyways, you'll notice that I'll be like checking things over there. This is because I just want to make sure you guys are getting the correct, you're hearing the correct things, you're seeing the correct things, and so I don't confuse you. Again, you from the start, you might be wondering, what credentials do I have to teach you this thing? Well, first off, this is a small part of what I know and get paid to do. First off, I am a middle school teacher. You might be wondering, how does that apply? Well, I am familiar with the process of education, of what it takes to teach you from process A to get you to do process B and C, and push the thinking into you, to get you to get started in your mind working and getting some good habits as a photographer. And that's not the only way I get paid, though. Every teacher needs a side hustle. Unfortunately, that's the reality. To me, this started off as a hobby. Like, I just like taking photographs of landscapes, of people, of things that I found interesting, changing the lighting, seeing how that changed things. And it was pretty interesting at the time. It was a creative outlet for me. And through that, I got good enough that people would pay me to go to these places and shoot things. Or like, I've been paid by, like, I was a freelancer for like landscape photographer. Like, I sold those as what do you call these, royalty free images. Like, I sold my rights to those. And yes, stock photos and all that. We'll get into that. We'll get into a little bit of this through this video, but just know that I am like a professional photographer. I get paid for weddings, I get paid for special events, corporate photography. I've done all of these. And I'm going to see if this humble bundle, what I bought through this bundle, will actually be something I use on a regular basis, or just something that I recommend for anyone to use, especially those getting started. And I've only played with it a little bit. Like, I literally just entered in my code that I bought and downloaded it and tested one image on it so far. So it's going to be a surprise to you. It's going to be a surprise to me if this works or not. This is a true blind test that we can get. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So you might notice that this is my stream setup of like, this is my XSplit cam over here so that I get this background down here. Like, let's see right there. So like removing all the background on there, like I highly recommend. It's very good of removing that, or you can even put in your own like custom video or things that play right there, but I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm just gonna go with it. So what I was talking about, Humble Bundle. If you're not familiar with the Humble Bundle, humblebundle.com are people that come together. They ask companies of like, hey, can we sell your games together with other games, or softwares together with other softwares, or books or music or a lot of different things, and bundle it together. And part of this will be for charity, or the majority of it can be for charity. It depends on what bundle it is. You'll see right now that they have quite a few bundles up. Like if you click right here for 12 bundles, literally it's humblebundle.com. And I will put that in the chat later on. And I will put that in all the descriptions of the video for anyone that's watching this later. But these are the current bundles right now. And yes, I did buy some of these. RIP my wallet. I am an adult. I get to make bad financial choices anytime I would like. But it's good. I like these music bundles, these royalty-free musics to use in future videos. I like these software bundles that they come out. I even buy some books sometimes over, like this one is Mastering Animation. Again, highly recommend Humble Bundle. You never know what you're going to get. Well, you never know what's going to come out. But for example, let's say that you wanted royalty-free music. You would click on this right here, and you would see how much you need to pay to unlock certain musics. I'm not going to play any of them right now, but if you pay the full amount, $25, you unlock the full thing. You unlock all the tiers before it. And this is something interesting that I like the Humble Bundle does. They let you say how much you want to donate and where you want that money to go to. So if you want all your money to go to most of your money to go to the charity, you can slide that dragger all the way almost to 25. Yep, you can send it entirely as a donation. If you want the publisher to get some money, then you can of course slide that right there, and it automatically adjusts so that if you want the bulk of it to go to charity, the bulk of it goes to charity. If you want the so like Dark Fantasy Studios, these are the ones that created all of these. These are the publishers. If you want some of it to go to them, because I mean, they did create it. They have artists that need they need to pay, and that, to me, that's fair. And of course, the humble tip. The only way that Humble Bundle runs is fully by the people buying things. So like this can only exist if people are tipping to Humble Bundle to keep getting more bundles. But again, that's not required. You can send it 100% to charity. That's fine as well. The one I want to talk about today is the AI-powered photo editor. And if you're wondering what I use to edit photos, it's Adobe Photoshop. And through Adobe Photoshop, Camera Raw, I shoot in Camera Raw to just edit it in Camera Raw. Easy, it's quick, and you can do it through multiple of them. I use Adobe Bridge to do that. If you are a beginner, don't worry about all these terms. I will be showing you Luminar 4 today. Luminar 4 is what I bought through this. I paid the full amount, $25, to unlock everything. Whoops. So you can see whether or not this is for you. The one thing I won't be showing you is PhotoLemur 3. To me, it looks okay, but it's definitely not something that I would ever use as a professional or as a just amateur. It looks like something real quick, like on your phone where you're doing the auto. To me, it looks like that. I haven't tried it, so I can't say whether it's good or bad. But this is just from the video that I saw, the tools available through this. The best tools will be through Luminar 4. Again, from the videos that I've seen and from the one image that I tried out. And I will be showing you this one right here, Aurora HD. It also comes with a $25 unlock. And it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. I've only tried the sample image, so I will be showing you what I do to the sample image as a professional to see what it does automatically and how you can take it further from there. So AI, artificial intelligence, that's AI. This is a topic that's been very popular throughout the years, and it's gotten even more popular in recent years. And let me check right now my audio as I'm speaking, just to make sure that everything that you're hearing is good, because I don't want to finish this video and it turns out that, well, you had an echo or no one could hear you. But no, it sounds good. It sounds good. Okay. Artificial intelligence. This is where you teach a machine how to learn. And this is where my teaching experience come into play. For a few years, I have been teaching computer science and engineering. And through this, I've like studied computer science. And yes, in the college, I did have a minor in computer science, but that's a different story. Here, artificial intelligence, you teach a computer how to learn. And if you didn't know it, computers are pretty simple. They're fancy calculators. And ooh, a lot of people are like, what? That doesn't make sense. But honestly, a computer will only ever do what you want it to do, unless it has a virus or something, in which case get it checked. Like download that software, that that antivirus software or whatever. But a computer will only ever do what you want it to do. Computers are getting smarter when they predict what you're gonna do. This is it learning. This is basic artificial intelligence. True artificial intelligence hasn't even gotten there. Like Skynet, we're nowhere near getting to that place yet. So don't worry, computers aren't going to take over the world anytime soon. I mean, let's hope. But Luminar uses AI to try to guess what is happening on what picture you took and see what it can do to make it better. And by better, that's a very subjective term. So we're going to see what we can use with it, with some old pictures that I've taken from around, like, let's see. I know I've taken some of them I took some of these that I'm going to show you in Mexico, and some of them are from Europe, and it's all over the place. But I'll show you what you can do with it. Let me see. Oh, and I have messed with artificial intelligence before. It was this software, but it's incredibly complicated to get it set up in your computer. Hopefully someday they can like get that info like at a consumer level, but right now you need to like really know what you're doing to get it. But it basically recovers old images and it tries to guess what it should look like. Later on I'll see if I remember. Someone tell me in the chat to show you that, because I didn't have that pulled up down here. I have all my stuff already pulled up. I was trying to find it, but I forgot to do it. Actually, let me do it right now. Let me see if I can remember how this is. If I remember correctly, no, that's not it. Did I put it in here? Always stay organized, guys. Learn from my mistakes. Stay organized. Don't let you be confused with all this stuff, because right now I'm not sure where I left this thing. That wouldn't be in videography. Celeste? Nope, that's a video game. Oh, I forgot I had Celeste. Might have to play that later. Don't look at that cracked file. I mean, that's totally a joke, guys. That's totally a joke. I didn't steal that or anything. Let me see. Honestly, I don't even remember where I have it. Is it under my creative resources files? And just remember, like, yeah, Humble Bundle gets a lot of things. These are just a few of the bundles that I've taken, like more music files, RPG files. And let me see, in my videography assets, like I've also gotten quite a few of these from Humble Bundle. I'll show you guys later. Like if I find it, I'll show it later. But without further ado, this is Luminar 4. And this is what it looks like. You enter in your code, and this is the image that you saw as a thumbnail. Hopefully you clicked this video because you thought it looked nice. Well, it's loading. One thing I did notice from this is that the CR2 files, which is camera raw, take quite a few seconds. There's like a little delay. If this was a JPEG, I assume that it would be faster, and we're going to try that out in a second, or in a few minutes. But this is a camera raw file. If you don't know what camera raw is, think of it, you should know what a JPEG is, right? A JPEG exists because people don't need all the data that a camera takes. You just need the pixels. That's it. That's a JPEG. JPEG is just the pixels compressed as much as you can to save data. So like you can take more pictures if you shoot in JPEG. If you shoot in camera raw, this is like fully the data that you can get. Think of it like this. A JPEG will take up about one picture as a JPEG will take up about 7 megabytes, maybe. And shooting that same picture in camera raw will take up about 200 megabytes. So you have more data here, so you can play with it more. If you need to recover things from shadows, need to recover lighting, you can do a lot more with that camera raw file. You can save a lot more pictures and enhance that picture more. If you ever notice that things get like blurry when you're trying to edit a JPEG, it's because it's so compressed. The pixels are so compressed that you lose a lot of that data. So right here, this is a camera raw. This is the original. This is what I started with. This is the original file that I started with. It looks, to me, it looks very bland. It looks like there's not a lot there. It's very flat. There's not a lot of color there. And honestly, like I had some lens things pop up. Like I didn't clean my lens right here, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of some, well, let me try turning this over here. Right here, right around here, there's a dot right there that the lens, when I cleaned the lens, it didn't come off. Should have used a little bit of alcohol wipes or something. But this is, again, this is beginning, this is end. This is what I did in, I want to say 10 minutes. And it's still, I saved it still as a Photoshop file. Right here is a save thing. You export the image. You can save it as a JPEG. You can save it as a PNG, a TIFF, a Photoshop file. I saved it as a Photoshop file, and I just put it here. And again, this was something that was done in 10 minutes. that was edited in 10 minutes in Luminar 4. And I just literally took that file and put it in Photoshop. This will say you can still work on it in Photoshop if you want to go further than just what Luminar offers. So if you have Photoshop or something like GIMP, which is free, then you can of course take it there. So there you go. This is just a quick example of what you can do in Luminar 4. And I'm going to walk you through it using a different image. Well, I'm going to show you the beginning of this image right here. Let me re-import this image. And again, I am still learning this. So let's see if I remember how to import something here. Normally I would go to File. Try going to New Album. Nope, that just created a new one. Let's see if I can just drag and drop it in. That would be best. If I could just drag and drop. Let me see, my original file is somewhere. I think it was this one. See, oh, good. I have the CR2 file and I have the JPEG file. So you'll notice that this JPEG is about 8 megabytes and this one is 25 megabytes. I kind of exaggerated, guys. I'm thinking of the Photoshop. When you save it as a Photoshop file, that's when it's going to grow a lot. So I recommend in your camera, if you're shooting on any Canon, Nikon, like, you know, those actual professional cameras, then you should be able to shoot in RAW as well. And yes, in your phone, there are special applications or camera apps you can download, like Camera Plus or Camera 2 Plus, that allow you to shoot in camera RAW through your phone, which will make editing a lot easier. But again, that gets complicated, so let's just stick with this topic of today, which is editing here. So let me see if I can just drag and drop that in. I got the CR2 file, which is camera raw, and I'm seeing if I can edit it in here. I don't think I can. Let me go with edit single image. Okay, now I can download it in here. Okay, now I can put it in here. Let me just get that wherever I save this. Copy and paste that there. That way I don't have to look for it. There we go. So I'm going to get this original file. And this is the... Is this the camera raw file? Yep, that's the camera raw file. I shot this on a Canon Rebel T3i. You can get the entire, like a bundle, like an entire kit for under $500 with a standard lens, and there's a micro lens that I like that like it makes everything blurry on the back. Like it's for, you can shoot right here. Let me see, how do I explain this? Oh, in the camera, if you have an iPhone, that's why it has multiple cameras now, where you can shoot right here and it's all crystal clear and the back is blurry. That's, you can buy one of those for like $100 for that camera. The Canon Rebel uses the EF system, which lens systems gets complicated. I don't want to get into it, but it is very common. You can find lenses for this and they should be pretty cheap. So for $500, you can get maybe 3 lenses, the camera body, a bag, extra batteries, and the whole shebang. And the thing I like about it is this was my starter camera. I like that you were able to, like, the eye thing says that it's intelligent, so that you're able to like move the viewfinder to, like, if you're shooting like down up, like shooting down, shooting at someone going up from you, you're able to see that if you just move the little viewfinder right there. So you're able to maneuver that. That's why I like the T3i. That's just a little spiel of, you don't need to have a lot of money to start shooting. Honestly, if you have a phone, you can start shooting. And even if you don't have a phone, you should start shooting if you want to start shooting. And by shooting, of course, I mean photography. I hate that I have to point that out, but I do. I have to. Like, that's the US. That's the world we live in. All right. Let me see. Hopefully this is still the original file and I don't have to strip it from the edits that I did to it. Let me see. Can I edit here? Can I edit? Yep, I can edit. And again, this is the CR2 file. You'll notice down here it says CR2. This is exactly what I did. So again, you'll notice that the sky, pretty pale. It's a blue. It's not very bright. So let me replace that sky. And through the Humble Bundle that I got here, they had a lot of looks that came through it, and some skies that come with it, with a $25 price tag. And let's mess around with it. Let's not get exactly the same one. For sky selection, let's go with a stormy sky. Let's say it was a stormy day. Let's see what it does. Ooh, menacing. What about a blue sky? It's a clouds, better than what it was original. Which again, this was the original. There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of horizon. It looks a little nicer here. And one thing you'll notice is right here, let me zoom in a little bit. It goes through the tree. That's something that's important. Like when I tried this out, I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Because the clouds are coming through the little leaves and branches. To me, this is incredibly powerful, because if you don't know anything about having to create masks, it's a very long and tedious process. It's like you have to literally say what you want to cut out, and then you put something on top of something else. But this does it for you. This replaces the sky. For what it does right here, it's very impressive. Let's go with the dramatic sky. I think I did dramatic sky one over here. No, it wasn't it. Was it 2? We're getting closer. But yeah, again, notice that in the back of the tree, you're noticing that it's replacing through the tree. Let's go with 3. No, it wasn't that one. Wait, was it this one? No, it's not that one. Which one was it? I might have to go to the original one to see what I did. Let me see. What sky is this? And yeah, like I said, it takes a minute to go from camera raw to camera raw, especially when you edited something. So that's something that I'm noticing, that maybe if I do use this, it's gonna be for like not a lot of things. Come on, come on. What's this dramatic sky for? Looks slightly different. Interesting. Oh well, I'll go with the new sky. I'll go with the new one. Oh, one thing this thing does do right here is the augmented sky, which is pretty funny. I'll show you guys in a second. Or did this just crash? Is two of them too much? See, oh, it might have been dramatic sunset. Was it this one? Looks closer. And again, there it is, dramatic sunset 1. And a lot of these are from this Sky's Twilight, the Sky's The Power of Nature. There's a lot of them in there. And let's test out this augmented sky. Let's select something. Let's go with Saturn. I want Saturn to be on here. This is Saturn. We're like one planet away from Saturn. Not sure I love it there. Nah. Let's go with a eagle. There's an eagle in my image. Let me move this eagle over here. That way we can see it better. And let's make it, oh, it's going to be a giant eagle. Whoops. Nope. So that is something you're going to have to worry about, is keeping the dimensions the same. I'm guessing you hold down shift to keep the dimensions the same. There we go. Giant eagle. See. So relight is trying to like relight it to match the light in the background. I mean, yeah, it's all right. But you can of course like add things on here. Like why would I want a plane in here? Like vroom. Try making that a giant plane. Bam. There was a plane in there. You see, yeah, looks a lot. That looks a little better. But let me just completely remove any of those. Oh, one thing you'll notice over here is that I added a sun ray. You see, and I wanted it to look like it was coming through. So like right around here, I placed a sun ray. If you notice down here, it looked like a little line. I wanted it to look as like normal as possible. So like that's what it's doing right now. And if you turn it way up, it creates like God rays or something like that. In video games, if you play your video games, you know what this is. You see, let me check my stream for a second, seeing how I'm seeing the status of this. All right, things are looking okay. Slightly delayed, but that's on purpose. Good, good. Gonna keep going, gonna keep going. Let me take it at 14%. Now let's make them a little bit longer. Penetration slightly stronger. Nah. Like that's good right there. For the dramatic look. And again, all of these are tools built into Luminar 4. In Photoshop, in just plain Photoshop, you better know what you're doing. Because if you just shot in regular JPEG, it's going to take a minute to like get to this level. If you shot in camera raw, then it's a little easier to replicate this. I'm going to see what I can do about it. in camera raw, but let's go with a little bit of more dramatic look. You're noticing that it's increasing the contrast. That's what I guess what they're meaning by dramatic. It's increasing the contrast. Let's see. Do I like the contrast that it's building? Not really. Yeah. I'm not going to have any dramatic. And matte look. Let's see what that does. And a good way to just test out a feature is just crank it all the way up. Turn it all the way down. Go to the middle. And just turn it on and off. See if you like the look. And if you like it a little bit, try to find out at what strength you want it at. It's like, to me, a little bit less. Mystical. Ooh, mystical. What does that do? Noticing that it's, so like I'm turning it to 100%, it's creating blur. It's creating blur, like this Lord of the Rings blur, where it's like, so it's dreamy, that dreamy look that you're seeing. If you check my Instagram, like I messed with this in Camera Plus 2 that I showed you guys, the previous video. But yeah, it's creating that dreamy look. So it's like blurring some things and highlighting some things. And it's doing this automatically. Like I'm not telling what to do. But let's go a little bit brighter. Let's increase the shadows. Oh, sorry. One thing, like right now I just got right into creative. But let's go into essentials because again, this is a little dark. I'm going to bump up the exposure slightly. Because to me, this is a little bit dark. Oh. So yeah, you'll notice that it's like glitching a little bit. See what increasing the highlights a little bit do. No. Too much. And I'm going to compare the speed of this processing to a JPEG file just to see. AI enhanced. This is where they say like this is their bread and butter. This is why you should buy Luminar 4. And again, right now you can get it through Humble Bundle for 25 bucks. Normally I checked and let me see. That's going to be on there because I checked it. Luminar 4 cost. And it's for 70 bucks. So save money now. And if you want to look, and I also checked Amazon just to make sure, and it's on, and it's even more expensive on Amazon for 80 bucks. And Aurora is also on there for 100 bucks. So you get 2 for 1 if you buy this one. If you would like it, if you would like to try it. Again, 25 bucks, you get it forever. And it's not a, to me so far, this doesn't seem like a bad deal. Already you seem like you're saving, like you're saving, but let's see if it's worth it. This is where they say their AI enhanced tool works their wonders. So right now, let me try turning off everything I did. I'm turning off all of these things just to see right off the bat what their AI enhancement accent does. I turned it up to 28%. Let's go up to 86%. Oh, and you notice how I said that it was a little dark? So this definitely made everything a little bit brighter. Let's go a little bit down. Keep going down. Can we enhance the sky a little bit? Yeah. Made it a little bit bluer. And again, this is our basic image. So yeah, this definitely does look slightly better than that. So yeah, it brought up the contrast of the tree, which I liked. It made the blue sky a little bit bluer, and it gave it a sort of like gradient look to it. And this is, it's doing it automatically. I didn't tell it what to do. I just increased it to see what it would do. Go with AI structure. What does this do? AI structure. I'm not seeing anything there. Whoa, there it goes. Like it's making everything way too like sharp. If you like that look, go for it. I'm not a really like HDR super sharp look kind of guy, so I'm gonna just pull that back a little bit. Let's make things a little bit more saturated. And by saturate, I mean make the greens greener, the blues bluer, and there you go. So that's exactly what I did. So notice that this is the original. This is increasing the saturation slightly. And this is why I always bump up this saturation just a little bit, maybe sometimes not as much as this, like, but usually I bump it up by about maybe at least 1 or 2, sometimes 5, sometimes 15, depending on what kind of day that was. If the sun wasn't very warm or very inviting, then I just bump it up a little bit, and then I change the light right here. The temperature, and this is very interesting. Like normally you only get these settings through like Lightroom. I'm not sure if GIMP has this. I'm not very familiar with GIMP. I just paid for Photoshop. I started with Photoshop and I just kept with it. I'm not a fan of them moving to a monthly structure. Like that just seems not cool, because I started off with like Adobe Photoshop 3 and I paid for it one time, and then I just kept upgrading from there. And then after CS6, they stopped supporting that and said we're moving to a paid structure. So this, I do like this one that you only have to pay for it one time. I do like that part. So $25, you get this program forever. Amazon or Adobe, you have to keep paying for it. I pay right now about $20 to $30 a month because I'm a teacher. I get the educator price, but only for a year. After that 1 year, I'm gonna see what deals I can get through Reddit. And yes, there are deals on Reddit. They sell you like access keys for a year for like a lower price. But let's keep going through this. This is like Luminar 4. Let's see. Details enhancer. I'm guessing this is more contrast gonna build. Smaller details. So I'm guessing it's looking for the smaller things. Let's see if I can notice a difference. I only bumped it up from 17. And if you can't notice a difference, that's why you zoom in. Give it a second to process. On the bottom left, you'll notice that image is processing, unless of course I am preventing you from seeing that. Let's see. Turning it off. Do I notice a difference? Do I notice a difference? Not really. Let's try turning it on. Do I notice a difference? Oh, I noticed a little bit of difference right here on the grass. Like it just is slightly sharper. Okay. Ooh, let's see if we can get a golden hour look. Ooh, you see how it just looks a little bit warmer now? The entire thing looks a little bit warmer. Golden hour is, it happens twice in a day. Once when the sun is rising and once when the sun is setting. Everything has that golden look to it. Has this warm, inviting look to it. Ooh, notice right now that there is some noise in this picture. Let's see if I can denoise it. Luminosity denoise. And let's see what happens. Anything happen? Let's try bumping it up like at a ridiculous level. Did it do anything? Did it do anything? I'm not seeing anything happen right now. But again, like right now, CR2, I'm gonna see if it works better with the JPEG. Oh, so yeah, you notice that it's like it was very noticeable when you zoomed in, like the noise. Let me try turning it off. Come on, come on. It's a little bit hard to tell when you turn it on or off. Yeah, there it goes. It flashed for a second, but it was very noticeable. Now it's less noticeable. Let me go to fit to screen. And yeah, looks slightly nicer. Let me decrease this golden arrow a little bit because I think the looks a little bit too saturated. And of course, I can scale it back if I want to scale back the color. I can of course scale that back a little bit. Images processing. There we go. So again, looks closer to the one that I edited before. And now let's go back to creative. Let's turn on all the things we did. I created sun rays. Did I give it a dramatic look? No, I didn't. I gave it a little bit of a mystical look. There we go. So there it is. Going from this to this. And honestly, this, I would think that this stock image would sell. You could sell this as a stock image. It looks pretty good. Like honestly, this would take me a lot longer to achieve on Camera Raw because first off, I would need to replace the sky. That's something very interesting from this software. Like if you're shooting landscape and it looks very flat, like mine did, like there's nothing there, then this is a very powerful tool for you. And notice that there's a little bit of orange there in the tree. That's because that's from the clouds. Yeah, that works. And let me see. Yeah. Normally what I would do is basically have to paint out, like cut out this and then just drop it into this high resolution background image. But all of these are already high resolution. All of these sky replacements, sunsets and storms and just skies are already high resolution, so I don't have to go find those. This honestly saves me a lot of time. And as a photographer, as an editor, you're always trying to see how much time you can save for any project. Because I will tell you right now, editing takes a while, guys. Editing takes quite a bit, and it's very monotonous at times. But if you want it to look exactly the way you want it to look, you will dedicate that time. But to me, this looks pretty good. If I would sell this as a stock image, I would sell it with some other images, but I would assume that this one would sell. I can honestly see this being put like at Michael's or Big Lots, like in those stock images for frames. Like there's already a photo in there. Like I don't think this would be like a photo you want to buy and hang up like as art. This would just be something that you include on there just to make it see what it could look like. But yeah, this would work as a stock image. It's pretty good. So for me right now, I would say, yeah, Luminar is definitely, for the price of 25 bucks with all the things you get from it, definitely worth it. At least as a starter, at least to start with. But let me try a different image because you guys only saw the landscape tools. I didn't even use their like portrait tools or their pro tools down here, which are more advanced tools. These are dodge and burn. This is something that I do a lot with portraits where I want to make things stand out, like in here, like where you see highlights, things are brighter or darker than other ones. Like you want these sort of features to stand out, so you dodge them, and you want certain things to like make them look more fierce, more dramatic. Then you burn it. These are editing terms, but I don't think I'm gonna be using any of these on this image because already it looks, to me, it looks pretty done. And these are like AI skin enhancers, portrait enhancers. These are for like people in the picture. So let me see if I can go ahead and find one to show you guys. Let me edit a single image. Let me see. And this one, yep, this one is also raw. Well, first let's see if the JPEG is a lot easier to work with. Let me see if I can work with the JPEG easier. Oh, that loaded pretty quick. Dang. Come on. Work with me. There we go. So you'll notice that none of this information is already provided to you because the JPEG doesn't include any camera information. So right now, as shot, it doesn't know what that means. So let's try increasing, it's going a little bit warmer, just a little bit warmer. It doesn't have any presettings. Let me see if I can use the eyedropper tool. Nah. I'm just going to increase the creases a little bit. Make it just slightly warmer here. Actually, let's see if it's the... Let me see down here. Where was that landscape enhancer? If I can just do golden hour and I don't have to... Yeah, golden hour works. I don't have to change the temperature of the entire picture. Golden hour focuses on the landscape. That works. Again, let's increase this slightly. Let's go with IA enhance. There we go. Let's increase that sky slightly. There we go. The blue is slightly bluer. Let's go a little bit back. AI structure. All right, I remember. This one, I did not do anything to that color. Let's go with a little bit more saturation. Because y'all know I like that color. Saturated. Let's increase the smaller ones a little bit. Denoise things quite a bit. Because, yeah, we don't need all that noise. And sky replacement, if I remember, it was Dramatic Sky 1? Dramatic Sunset 1. So it's taking it away. It's changing it right now. You'll notice that there is still a bit of lag with it. And depending on your computer, this could take longer. Mine is a higher end model, so it shouldn't take this long. So again, this would be one of the downsides to it. But don't get me wrong, guys. This is it's an incredible thing that it's doing right now. Like, this will take me forever. This will take me like an hour to cut out just because of all these little things right here. And yeah, Photoshop is getting a lot better about that. Like the smart, like selecting smart mask, it's getting a lot better about that. But this one does it automatically, and it has pre-selected ones, so I'd say it's pretty good. Let's go with, oh, that's way too bright. Turn it down way much. Let's make it slightly more dramatic. Not too much. All right, now let's get that mystical look going. Because y'all know I like that mystical look. That dreamy texture. Oh, and they did include overlays. Which, let me see. Where do I have these? Over here. These textures. They're alright. Like, they're high quality, and yeah, I'm definitely going to use them. But they're just like things you would put over something else. Like, let me see if I can show you guys. Nah. Wait, can I just drop it in? No, I don't want to open my mail. I'm on break. I'm not looking at any mail. Again, teacher, I get Thanksgiving off. If the kids don't got to go to school, I don't have to go to school. Love of God. Let's see, can I just load it there? Nah. See, that's something that I wish they would do. Like, be able to drag it in. Like a picture, you're able to drag it in and like mash things together. Photoshop, you're able to do that pretty easily. Like, if I wanted to import something else in here, I could just drag it in, or go to File, Import. Where's that? Would I have to open it? No, I would import it. No, that's for scripts. Guys, it's been a while. Like, honestly, I would just drag it in because I don't remember how to do it the other way. See, you can add fog and all that in there. But yeah, so far it's looking very similar to the other one that I did. Like, that's the one I did in Camera Raw, and this is the JPEG one. And I know it's blurry for you guys. I know it's blurry. Sorry about that. The only difference that you're going to be able to make with this one is if you zoom in, like, a lot. But honestly, it's what you're going to do with the picture. I shoot in Camera Raw because that way, if I ever want to like blow it up in like a big frame or something, then I have that option. If you're not going to do that, if you're only just going to take those little, like, just print them at the Walgreens or Walmart, or Amazon even has one now, then you don't need that much data. It's just like, it looks okay. Like, this would look, this is a JPEG and it would look amazing in like just a regular photo. But this is edited, so I don't know why would you want that to print this out? Well, maybe as a stock photo, like put this on a frame and say, hey, do you want to buy this frame? Look at this, it looks so nice. Whatever you do with stock photos is your business. But yeah, this is the JPEG, and this one is the Camera Raw. Well, this is the Camera Raw, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So yeah, you will notice that the JPEG is slightly faster. So it's pretty good for JPEGs. It's pretty good for camera. It can handle camera raw. Not 100% reliable, I would say, because it takes a while, but it'll get the job done. And again, for 25 bucks, I am singing a praise for it. Like, that's pretty good. 25 bucks is 1 month of Adobe. So far it's looking pretty good. And it does have these looks down here. I haven't messed with any of the looks, but they are available. I'll show you what they look like in a second. Let me go in a different image, edit single image. And this, what you see right here, guys, this is something that I shot in Mexico. This is the original one, is something that I shot in Mexico on the back of a truck going 50 miles an hour. I don't recommend doing that unless you're being chased by like lions or something and you're in safari. But this is something that was very quick that can earn me money as a photographer. Like, it's, if you want to make money as a stock images, like, yeah, you can definitely do that. You can start out as a hobby and you can definitely turn it into a money-making object. Like, I started photography for a hobby, and pretty much anytime like I want to get back into photography, I just take up a job of like, hey, does anyone need me to do this? I put up feelers, flyers, or just, well, not flyers, but like I reach out to my communication network and see, does anyone want to hire me? This is what I've done in the past. This is my portfolio. These are the weddings that I've shot. These are the events that I've been to. And these are the photos that I can take for you. Does anyone want to hire me? And from there, I like scratch that itch of that creative itch. And I get paid for it. So again, photography can be a great hobby. It can also be a great way to earn an extra revenue. Let me see if I can work on an image right here. This one, there's no sky on this one. I'm mostly going to be focusing on the skin tones and all that. So this is family. Don't worry about it. This was like 20 years ago. So they're all grown up. They asked me to take these photos. It was really annoying because I was in the middle of a nap. And they told me, Armando, get up. We look so pretty right now because we're about to go to some dance or something that was going on in the small town. We were all visiting, like, it's like 4 different families visiting our parents' town in Mexico. And they were going to this, what do you call those? I think it was a quinceañera. I think it might have just been like a town party or something like that. I don't know. But let's start messing with it. Let's see. I don't want this one to look too warm because it's in the middle of the day. Let's see. And this one is in camera raw. So let's see. Let's make it just a little bit warmer. Nah, too much. There we go. So you notice what I did right now was just, it looked a little bit too blue on their skin tones. So I increased the warmness right here. I made the temperature go a little bit to the right. And it looks pretty well exposed. It was in the middle of the day. Like, there was clouds out, it was overcast, but it still came out pretty good. The light isn't completely overshadowing any of their features. Let me try turning down the highlights a little bit because they are bleeding a little bit into that. So let me see. Original, my change, original, my change. And you're already seeing, like, it looks way better, like, to me. Because the blue, it looks a little bit pale. This just looks like they're blue. To me, it looks like they're dying. It looks like they're out of breath. Looks like they're underfed. And this one just looks slightly warmer, like there's actual blood in their system. Or they're not too cold. Let's go with AI Enhance. See what that does. Ooh, it's bringing sharpness into the things over here. AI Enhance. And there's no sky in here, so you can't accent the sky. Let's see. Let's try turning it all the way up. What does it do? So let's see. This is it off. Is it on? You'll notice that the contrast is way turned up. And I don't hate it. I just don't want it that turned up. So let's go down a little bit. So there it is. And this is it a little bit more. Let's try making the shadows a little bit darker. just to make it a little slightly more dramatic. Let's see, let's see. Details enhancer. Let's see what these things do. Because I'm not sure. Again, I'm playing with this. Oh, God, no. No, why did I do that? Revert, revert. Undo. Undo. The love of God. Oh, that is a nice feature. So if you just click on it right here, it sets it back to default. So just click on the info right here or anywhere on top of that one. You'll notice that you're messing with it when it's highlighted, and you just double click and it resets it. Let's see what's, let me mess with it one at a time. Let's see what happens. Okay, the smaller details are coming out. Let's see, can I pay attention to anything in the background? Any small leaves, anything coming more into focus? Not really. Let's talk about medium details. Is anything being sharper now? Anything sharper? Can't really tell. It's when you get into the large details where it starts to look so overbaked. All right. If I can't notice it, I'm not going to use it. Let's denoise it slightly because, again, while you might not be able to tell it with the entire picture over here, let's try zooming in on this darker, shady portion right here. Go with 300% zoom. And let's see, is there any noise over here? Let it load. Come on, come on. So yeah, definitely noise in here in the shady part. If I turn this on, does it go away? Images processing, images processing. Yep, it smooths it out. So I'm going to keep that on. I need water. I've been talking for almost an hour. And let me check to see, do I have anyone commenting? Do I have anyone commenting here? Nope. Hopefully some people watch this later, because I know it's a Saturday, it's 11 o'clock, people are doing things, getting things done, being winners in life. And of course, normally I would sleep until noon, but I had to do this, so let me see. What does the golden hour do here? Does it do anything? Like, again, there's not much to change here. And like, as an editor, I'm not liking that I have to wait to see the changes that it's doing. Like, yeah, it's artificial intelligence, so it needs to think about it. It can't just do it automatically. But normally what I would do is just like this. See, change, yes, change, no, yes, no, yes, no, and just go from there. So again, I can't notice the change, so I'm not even gonna do it. And let's get into portrait. See what I can do here. Because again, I haven't used this. The only one that I've messed with is this one up here. So let's see. AI skin effect removal. Not sure what that does. Let's zoom in here. Zoom way in to faces. Zoom a little bit out. Come on, come on, load, load. Let me try turning AI skin effects off and seeing what changes it does. All right. So no, I'm not judging them, their family, but every human has, like, very, very few humans have perfect skin. And by skin, I mean like it's well maintained, they drink water normally, they have a healthy eating habits, they exercise, and genetics, of course, play a part in that, where it's like your parents are healthy, your parents have been healthy, or you're more susceptible to rashes, of course, then that affects you too. So let's see if AI skin effects can automatically take out some of these things right here. So let's see, it's trying to do something right here. I noticed that right off the bat. Let's try turning it down, turning that down, turning it off. So yeah, it's trying to make this right here better, but it's not being able to do that pretty well. So I would, right now, I wouldn't trust it. I'm guessing that over here in Photoshop, what I would be doing is doing this in RAW. So let me show you right now. It's over here. This is exactly the same file. This is what I would do over here. It's loading, and it's gonna load in camera, this as a camera raw file. It's different from what you see here. So this is camera raw, and you'll notice that this one, the changes are immediate. So if you can afford paying those $20 every time, I would recommend it. And right here, it also gives you like some options right here. It tries to figure out what it looks like, what good looks like. So to me, daylight, that looks pretty good. Let's go with exposure. If you just want to like wing it, auto. That looks okay. I mean, it don't look great. And I would always like mess with these. Contrast a little bit more. Highlights slightly down. Shadows are good. White balance is slightly down. Make those whites slightly darker. And the blacks, yeah, that's why I said to move the blacks down a little bit. And vibrance is always, of course, being shot up. Saturation, let me shoot this down a little bit. There we go. Curves, yeah, let's make it just slightly, bump it up and down slightly. Let me see. And of course, you can see the changes. Did you like what you did? Did you not like what you did? Right here. But the thing that I was talking about right here, let's zoom in all the way. This right here, this imperfection right there, I would just use the spot removal tool and heal this right here. And it's trying to match it from other skin tones over there. And let me turn off the overlay. See? That's with it. That's without it. Is there a way to... Oh, right, I remember. Not that. Over here. So that's what it was, and this is it healed. And this is something that I would do. I would always like brush up, touch up, just small imperfections like that, because I know what happened there. Like that. This is where I think this is where one. I think they went horse riding, and like it bumped up, like I don't know what happened. Like the horse galloped and boom, right on the head or something, or on the little stand right there. See, I actually do know how to horse ride, but I forget with those saddles. The saddles, again, it's been so long, guys. And I would go through seeing any small little imperfections I can fix. And then the overall image would look like this. But I'm not loving that it's like, this is way too bright over here. Then I would like turn this down and do all these like small adjustments. So I'm able to do this a lot easier in Camera Raw. I'm not going to save none of that. I'm not sending this to them anymore. But yeah, this is it so far. This is what I have so far in Luminar 4. Let's see. Let's go with face light. Does it change anything in the face light? Zoom in. And I'm trying to see, again, come on. Again, it takes a while. I'm not liking this, like, stuttering that it's happening. But this is, again, this is me being picky. Unfortunately, I have to be picky because I want to know to see if it's worth putting this into my workflow. Is it worth using this if it's going to be doing all of this? If you're a beginner, then yeah, sure. Like, it's what you got. It's what you got. It's what you got to work with. So you can't be as picky. come on, come on. Okay, let's see. Face light removal. And it's still loading the image. There we go. See face light. Turning it up. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's making the faces brighter. Interesting. Just the faces. So it's recognizing that these are faces and making these brighter. Well, yeah, let's go with a little bit, just a little bit. There's no red eye that I can see here, but let's see if it can detect that there's no red eye. Nah. Eye whitening. Oh, these are the little, like, you know, you have your pupil, and then you have everything over your eyeball. So let's see if it can whiten the eyes. Oh, it did. That's surprising. Eye enhancer, eye whitening. Let's go with that. Let's just try it. Are there any dark circles that we need removed? So it's very good at figuring out where the face is and where certain pieces are normally like fixed. So it's trying to remove any dark circles, like these would be right here. So yeah, it is doing that. So if you notice that right here, the under the eyelids are becoming brighter. And I know that's something that people want to, like, I know makeup companies are like, remove dark circles under your eyes, make your eyelids better. I mean, if that's something you want. Slim Face 2.0, I'm not sure what this does. Never heard of it. Does it make your face more oval, I would guess? Oh, yep, more oval. Good God. Yeah. Unnatural. Especially what I know what they look like. Enlarge eyes. Oh, you want those anime eyes? No problem. Let's see what this does. Turning it up to 87%. Let's get those anime eyes. Big eyes. Nah. Improve eyebrows. So what does it do to eyebrows? Lip saturation, redness, darkening, teeth whitening. Right. I'm not sure what it did to eyebrow. Oh, it's making the eyebrows darker. So like, I know that it's a style where you take a pencil, or like those color pencils, not color pencils like you use in school, like eyelash pencils, and you like darken your eyebrows. So yeah, it's definitely doing that. And it's bringing out the follicles in the hair a little bit. It's making these more noticeable. Sure. Again, I'm not 100%. Lip saturation. I'm guessing it's trying to figure out where the lips would need to be saturated. So yeah, it's making them brighter. Lip redness. So pretend they have lipstick on, or like darker lipstick on. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that it's darkening. Teeth whitening. So you do notice that two of these do have T's. So it is trying to make them whiter. It's making them very white. Because again, if you're not sure, always sure what it's doing, bump it up all the way. And then take it away. See what it did. So yeah, it's definitely making teeth whiter. And it's only focusing on this. I'm trying to see if it bleeds out into the lips or anything else. But yeah, it's doing exactly what it says. Just focusing on that. I'm noticing that it's making, like, it's bleeding a little bit over here. Because again, this is artificial intelligence. It's not perfect. Let's go with high key. Not sure what high key is going to do. Oh, whoa, no. Don't need that. Orton effect. Not sure what this is. Bump it up all the way. Let's see what it does. Ah, it's trying to give that dreamy look. It's just a little bit. 15%. Let's look at the whole image. Yeah, giving it a dreamy-ish look. It's making things slightly blurry here and there. And what I would do here in the dodging and burn, I'm going to keep this on. I don't know why. Again, this is art, guys. It's subjective. What I would be doing here is going into dodging and burning. Let's see what I can do here in dodging and burning. Let's start painting. Oh, so I'm actually able to lighten and darken certain areas. Okay. Let's darken this strip right here. Choose this to darken. Nah, it's too much. Reset it. Let's go with 10%. Normally I like working with 10% in Photoshop. So yeah, it's definitely making this part darker, and you can of course go over it again if you want to just slightly darker. And let's lighten this up. Lighten the other edge up. Let's erase all this. And yeah, you can erase, your eraser also has a strength to it. Okay, that's good. Let's reset this. Because that was just a test. I don't like that you can't. Oh, you can. You can make it smaller and like focus on certain areas. But the brush, the specific type of brush, you're stuck with a circle. Interesting, you're stuck with a circle. Because over here, sometimes I like using different brushes for certain tools or like different techniques. So I'm not just stuck with this brush over here. I have way more brushes to choose from. Special brushes, splat brushes, and different pressures and all that. So it's not bad. It's definitely a good way to get started. It's definitely a good way to learn how to dodge and burn. And again, only 25 bucks for life. Adobe, it's at least 40 to 50 bucks without, I think it's like 50 bucks normal a month if you're not a teacher or a student. Right, let's go with color enhancer. Let's see what this can do. Let's turn the brilliance up slightly. Nah. Make it a little bit warmer. A lot warmer. Let's get that toaster effect going. Nah, just slightly warmer. Slightly warmer. There we go. Filters, nah. Split toning, nah. Let me see. Can I make it a mystical slightly? Can I make it more mystical? Let's see. Again, this is original. This is changes. Now let's turn off that mystical just to see the base. So like again, this is as shot. Again, it was a sunny day, clear, a little bit overdraft, like mostly clear. Like to me, this looks too blue. Like the faces could use a little bit of touching up. And this is the changes. Yeah, I prefer what I did in Photoshop. Honestly, I prefer what I did in Photoshop. So portrait mode, the portrait enhancer, the skin enhancer didn't really work out for us. Let's try just this without the AI skin effects. Let's see, what is it doing? What is it doing? Let me try zooming in. A little bit more. Let's see, what is this doing? Come on, come on, load already. And right now I'm checking the Facebook, YouTube's, and the Twitch. All right, so let me try turning it off, seeing what happens. Oh, yep, definitely noticeable. Like that is the standard. Turning it on, you'll notice that things are getting slightly blurrier, like it's getting this plastic effect. Like I know this is the airbrush basically, where people talk about those models are all airbrush, they take off all the imperfections. But yeah, just turn it in. Let me see just if I would want to have a little bit on there. And yeah, the plastic look is definitely something people use like in professional photography, in those high res shots. Let's see, try turning it off or turning it on. Noticing that a little bit of grain is coming in here. Try denoising a little bit more. See if that helps. Yeah. You're definitely noticing a difference here. So yeah, this definitely looks closer to the Photoshop one that I had. One thing I don't know why they don't have though is a crop tool. So like I was wondering right now, like this is too much of the image. I would like to like cut some of this out and focus on this, but I'm wondering, is it not here? Oh, they do have a clone and stamp tool. So yeah, I am able to go in here. So let me try fixing this imperfection right here. Nah, hate it when it does that. I don't think this is the software. I think this is my mouse, because I've been having some problems with my mouse where it's like pushes twice for no reason. I might have to get a new mouse. Darn you, Logitech. I'm kidding. It's been great for when it works, it works. Like I like the sensitivity and all that. It's just if this small thing would work, that'd be great. It's still loading. It's still loading. Again, Photoshop is a lot quicker. If you're, well, first off, you need a computer that can handle this, running this. Again, mine should be able to handle this no problem. Like it handles Photoshop no problem. And Luminar is a much smaller program. So I don't know why it's taking forever to do this though. Maybe because I constantly am messing with it right now. Let's try to zoom out a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Come on, come on. There we go. Clone and stamp tool. It's preparing it. So I'm guessing this is like a different section of the program, which is why it needs to load that. That would make sense if the rest of the program was faster. So again, one big complaint I got is the speed this is taking. Photoshop, I would have already moved to the 5th image. But again, like I know I keep coming back to this. If you're a beginner, I recommend this. If you're a beginner, it's $25 to get your feet wet, and it comes with a lot of things that help you. So this is a great way to learn what certain things do to the image. And it's still preparing. Like, I don't know why this is taking forever. As that's happening, let me go over here to Aurora HD or HDR. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the high def resolution photos. Like everything is clear at 100% of the time. Like all of this, you see everything. That's definitely a look. That's definitely a style. And it's not a style that I use a lot. But this is good. This is good. I'm able to grow as an editor, especially when you're working with someone you're not familiar with. It's always good to be growing with things. Don't just say, oh, I don't like this, so you shouldn't use this. No. This is a style, and maybe in the past you haven't liked it, so make it yours. Make it your own. Let's go with a sample image. And that's the one that I worked over here, the test one. these are the 3 images that it's taking. So one was they shot it in 3 different lightings. One was very low lighting, one was very high lighting, and one was okay lighting. And you'll notice that it's gonna smash them together to try to get all the details from the high lighting, the low lighting, and the mid lighting. So again, this is 3 different photos that someone took, and this is a sample image. Let me see. Yep, this is the base image. This is the base image. So like, even if I try showing, this is the original one, this is the darkest one, and this is what it did. Oh wait, is this the one that I edited? No, it's not. The one that I edited is down here. Let me show you what it looks like. There we go. So you'll notice that it's not as bright as the other one, the original one. Yeah. Let me try turning off all the enhancements that I did to this. And by enhancements, I mean only 2 things. Really? I only did 2 things to it? 3 things? There we go. This is the basic one. And what I did to it in HDR Basics, I just turned it down a little bit. To me, this seemed a little bit too bright. Like, seemed too bright for the night. So I turned it down a little bit. Next thing I did was the color. Like I said, y'all know I like turning up that contrast, that saturation, just a little bit, So now things have a little bit more life to it. You'll notice it specifically down here in the stands, where it's like pretty bland, and I just turned that up slightly. The skies are a little bit bluer. These colorful things are just a little bit more colorful. And then I went with a tone curve, which again, a tone curve, you raise up this over here, making things the brighter things a little bit brighter and the darker things just a little bit darker. It gives it a sort of dramatic look. These are the only 3 things that I did. And this is before and after. So this is before, this is after. This is it. This is just the program running. This is just the program running. Again, taking a low shot, a very dark shot, a very bright shot, and taking a mid shot. This is a change. You'll notice that you lose a little bit of detail right here in the waters and over here in the cars and the people walking, but that's to be expected. Honestly, I do like this like blur look. I like the blur look, where like you have the lens open for a very long time, like an overexposed shot, and like everything looks like long lines and blurry and all. Like, I kind of like that. I've experimented with some of those, but yeah, to me, this is definitely an improvement. What I would do next in Photoshop is try to bring back some of these details right here that were lost. Like, I do like these boats right here, so I'll try to remove any effects that I did from that, because I don't want to lose the detail in the boats. It's kind of lost in the enhancement, especially with that one. You can notice it right away. Like, it goes from you're able to notice it and now it's all blurry. Notice blurry and whatnot. But I do like down here, like this play area already looks pretty good. Like, it looks pretty good. It looks very fun. And I just take it to like a step up, where it looks like more inviting. You can see more of it. It's brighter. It's more inviting. It's more colorful. I also like what it does to these like beams right here. Like, it doesn't make it too overpowering. Like right here, it's a little bit dark. And right here, it makes it slightly bluer, and you're able to tell more details from that lamp. So I like this. If you want these, like, if you want this look, the high definition resolution photos, then I recommend this program very highly. Like, it was very, like, just using the sample photo, and I know the sample photos are supposed to be easy to use. then highly recommend it. I was going through my examples, and I do have a few that I can show you, but like I remember shooting them. I don't remember where I put them though. Oh my god, I don't remember where I put them. It's just like I've shot so many things, thousands of photos, guys, and all over the place. I don't remember where I have these. I'll try to find them. I can even make I'd like to make a 2.0 or a second edition of this video, but I've already been talking for an hour and a half. Hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully you take something from it. Oh, I have someone in the chat. Hello, Valeria. Tell people about this. I'm kidding. Be sure to like and subscribe. Nah. But this is going through the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitch. These are all the accounts. Like, I'll be sure to show you guys my end card so like you know what I'm doing and all this. But let's see. Let's check in on that Luminar 4. Oh, there we go. Click to set the source. Okay, I want this to be the source. That's the source right there. And I want this to be fixed over here. Whoops. Nope. Control Z. Undo that. Did it not undo that? Escape. Oh, so it's creating layers. Interesting. Although, again, it's taking its sweet time doing that. Luminar 4, get your things together, man. Like, I'm having to rethink. Oh, it does have a crop tool right here. Crop and rotate. So it has that tool. Can I undo it now? It's processing. Okay, yeah, it undid it. But yeah, it does have a clone stamp tool. It does have a rotate tool. Lens and geometry. Oh, this is something that's very interesting. So let me remove chromatic aberrations and distortion. This is something you should be able to notice like when you fit the screen, because back then I was using like a very old camera and very old lenses. So like pretty much all the photos I shot were like slightly like a little bit warped. Let me see. Were you able to tell the difference? Like, let me undo that. Yep. So you notice that it just like, you notice it came out a little bit. All right. So yeah, I recommend this is for if you're shooting, especially landscapes and things like that involve the sky. Highly recommend. If you're shooting more for people, like you can definitely get it to work. I don't recommend it for this purpose, but I do recommend it for things like nature photography, still photography, things like this, where you're able to make things more dramatic, make things look more dreamy, or just correct them. Like again, this one over here, if you didn't need these portrait tools, you didn't have to use them. You could have just did the photo tools, which is like correct the temperature, make things warmer, like make things sharper. Definitely something you can do. And I said that I would show you guys the pre-made tools, like the looks. So let's get into those looks right here. You see, I turned off the view down here. Where is it? I need to show something. Looks panel? Yep, it was looks panel. So already I will have preloaded a bunch of looks on here. The ones that I added were the ones that came with it, like I want to say analog film look, the California blue look, the neon Tokyo look, the winter collection. Like all of them are looks that were in there. Like let me try it with this one. Let me just focus on the winter collection. And the last time I tried this, it kind of like took away some things. So I wasn't like a big fan of that part. Go with a snowy texture. Let's add some snow in here. And you can turn down the strength. This is something that a lot of people don't know, but a filter should almost never be set at 100%, guys. A filter should almost never be set at 100%. Unless, of course, that's the look you're going for, which is rarely what you should be going for. Okay, I'm trying to add some snowy texture here. And what you'll notice is that it's going to take away some things like the sky. Like, come on, come on. It's processing, it's processing. Let's go, let's go. This is the JPEG. Come on, you're supposed to be able to handle JPEGs. Luminar 4, get it together. There we go. So let's turn it down slightly. All right. So let me see. What I'm wondering right now, is there a way to save all the things I did and then just add this at the end? Or do I have to work backwards? Again, I have not played with the looks at all. Try resetting adjustments, see what that does. I think I just deleted everything I did. Control Z, undo that. Control C, undo this. Keep going. And there's a history tool down here that you can go to the last thing that you liked about it. So let's go all the way back to where I changed the mystical amount. That'll take the look off. As that's loading, let me check things. Checking the Facebook, checking all these things. All right, so it's reset. And that's why if you just want a simple look that you just want to slap on a filter to, you can of course just use a look. If you don't want it, you want to go things manually, I recommend going the manual way. I'm not a super fan of looks or LUTs because every image is going to be slightly different from the example they're showing you. To make it look like this, download my LUT right here. I'm like, but it's always going to be different because the image you took is going to be different. But again, I digress. This was the Humble Bundle, AI-powered photo editor with Luminar 4. I paid the full $25 amount, and yeah, I recommend it. Like, if anything, this is a good learning tool, and it's great to mess around with. I'm definitely interested in exploring the Aurora HDR tool more because I know I have these tools. Like, I know in Photoshop, I used to do the HDR tools as well, but what I had to do was the same process, which was take it in low light, take it in highlight, take it in mid light, and then mash them together. Try to get all of the things in one. And this one does it for you. And that's definitely going to save me some time. Photolemur 3, I have no idea if it's good or not. I didn't test it. Fascinating clouds and objects. I'm guessing this is something you can have to play around with, like just to make your image a little bit nicer or just stand out. But so far, what you get for what you pay is definitely a deal. So stamp it, put a graphic on here, Pacino later on. It's a deal. It's a must buy. I am my own editor, guys. And the other bundle in here is that I bought. I bought the big free royalty music one. Unfortunately, what so this is one of the downsides to Humble Bundle is that they do reuse things every now and again, and like a couple of these are songs that or like albums that I already bought in a previous one. That's one thing that I noticed. It was the exact same song, so I just bought it again, which is something I've never done ever. People still buy music? I mean, yeah, I'm kidding. But support the creators, guys. Support the creators. But yeah, another thing I also bought was, like I said, this other one, which is Mastering Animation. These books, like, again, instead of just finding it online for free, support your money is going to support the publisher who pays the creators of this. So I just sent it to Taylor Francis Group a little bit more, and like right there, that's about what I gave. So the Taylor Francis Group, they're the ones that are releasing all this. And the Hero Initiative, all of these, every single bundle is tied to a charity. So this one over here these are the charities you can choose, the WDC or Be the Match. So if you want to, like, say I want all of the money to go to Be the March, or I want all of the money to go to WDC, you can honestly do that. You want to split it between them, same. This is something that I love about Humble. Like, you feel that your money is actually going somewhere, like to benefit someone else, like that needs it, someone else in the world that needs it. Do know that you can also support certain functions, like Be the Change, supporting the ALA, American Library Association, with getting certain books that are like social emotional learning, and for what do you call this? They call themselves like Justice Warriors, something like that. Anyways, these are like great books for children learning how to accept themselves, how to be themselves, how to embrace themselves, and of course history books as well. Highly recommend all of these books. You have more books over here, you have software, and it changes every month. Do know that as of releasing this video, you have 11 days to purchase this if you want it, and then it's gone. So there is a time limit on all of these bundles. There's a time limit. So this one has 25 days left. This one has 9 days. The Mastering Animation has 2 days left. So get them while they're here. Get them while they're here. Oh, I also bought this one over here. The, whatchamacallit, the Fall VR bundle. The Fall VR bundle. So I want to buy the Steam VR Index one. It's like the top of the line virtual reality headset right now, but it's taking forever for them to sell it to me. I'm like, hey man, we'd love to sell it to you, but we're fresh out. I'm on a wait list right now to see if I can buy this very expensive thing, but I have a bunch of games lined up to play when it finally gets here. Thank you for joining me today, everyone. That's gonna be it for today. That was Luminar. Again, a must buy. You got 11 days as of making this to buy it. For what it does, it's pretty good. It's $25 and you have it forever. A lot of these things are like very tempting, which is why I buy them to use later, which I have to wait until I have a break from school to be able to play with. Like, again, I bought this like 5 days ago and haven't been able to play with it since like this morning, just to test it out to make sure that it was set up for the stream. All right, that is it. Look at my end card for any, like, when I will be streaming again. I will be streaming quite a bit during this fall break, just video games and other softwares and other tips and tricks. If you want to join me, let me see. There it is. End card going up now. Valeria, are you saying woot and oof? What is this? Sorry, guys. I'm a teacher. I'm an ELA teacher now, and I gotta correct the grammar when I see it. But like I said, I will be streaming quite a bit during Thanksgiving break. These are just the set ones. These are just the set ones. So Monday, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to say 10 a.m. as well. Pacina, fix your things. Wait, let me see. Can I edit it while I'm streaming? Can I edit it while I'm streaming? I've never tried this before. Oh, did it change? Did it change? Let me try refreshing it. Anything? Never tried it. Yes, it changed it. Hey. Well, at least it changed it on Facebook, but not on Twitch. What's going on Twitch? There it goes. Now it's changed. All right. So I will definitely be streaming on Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. I'll also be doing like random streams here and there. So just come by, check out what I'm doing. You have any questions about anything I did, of course, ask me in the chat right now or put it in the chat and just put my name in there. Hey, Pacina, how did you do this with this? Or would this work with my computer? I have a, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the attention. Bye. Have a great Thanksgiving break. That is all. Get out of here. Go watch or go